going to start our session 4. So we will cover our part 1. So number 1, we have to cover today Azure storage services. If we will recap our previous two sessions. So in our previous two sessions, we have covered about the architecture of the organization. Like we have seen, organizations have different regions and physically they are located on some area, and then inside they have availability zones, and then they have availability sets. Inside we can create vertical and horizontal scaling. After that we have moved toward our services. So we have covered before what you called as compute services, so we can create virtual machines and different web apps and all kind of services. And then we have moved towards the networking, so we can make our complete virtual network over the cloud. So today we will try to understand about the storage. Like every organizations have servers over the internet, every organization have different networking concepts, but the most important aspect is data, where we will save the data. Like before, in our local data centers, people were just having big servers, big hard drives, and they were saving data inside their local hard drives. But nowadays, people are not buying these kind of big hardwares or big hard disks. They are just saving data towards the cloud. Now they are saving data towards the cloud, and they don't know where in the world their data is going. So there will be security concerns also. So that is why we will try to understand the uh, complete understanding about the storage solutions which Microsoft Azure is providing. So as we know already, we are moving toward the session 4. And if you see on the screen, we have to cover two domain 7 and domain 8, which is related to Azure storage and identity. So our next part will be identity, but today we will not cover identity. Identity we will cover in a separate session. So these two topics are very important topics. So one of the topic we will cover today, and in next session we will cover domain 8, because these two things are very very important. So only today we will cover up storage. So what is mean by storage? So storage, basically think of Azure storage is the backbone of your application and services. Like all the services and all the applications have data, and then this data we need to be protected, and this data we need to be stored somewhere. So what will be the benefits of using the cloud services? Number one, we will understand about the compute with different storage services, and then we will try to explore various storage tiers, like how we will store the data. If we will store the data, it will cost us how much. So different tiers will be there: hot tier, cool tier, archive tier. Whenever we need fast retrieval of data, we will use some different tier. Whenever we don't need more frequent data, then we will use some different tier. And we then whenever we don't need the data, we will archive or even we will delete the data. So these will be the different tiers of the you can say that storage, which will be cool tier, hot tier, archive tier, and these kind of things. Then we will move toward the redundancy option. Redundancy means if one of the storage is not available, then what we will do? So we need to make it redundant. So this is the most important topic in this storage, because whenever data is not available, the companies are shut down, because the data is very very important. So that is, we will explore how Azure ensure your data is always safe through replication options like LRS, ZRS, GRS, and RGRS. There are different ways we can protect our data through redundancy. Then we will move towards storage account options. Like we can say that different account types we can create, those determine your access to various storage features, because these are the option which will be available we can use. Like we can create different storage accounts, and these storage accounts will help us to create the things. Then after creating the storage accounts, we will have to move data between different places. Like your data will be on the local data center also, and your data will be on the cloud also. So how we will be moving data between local data center and the cloud? Like if I want to upload some file from local data center to the cloud services, how we will move? So we will see different movement tools, like two of the important tool we will understand, AZ copy and Azure storage. So these are the two different tools how we can move data between cloud and local data centers. AZ copy will be the command line tool and Azure storage will be the graphical tool, GUI tool. And finally, we will be understanding about the migration option. Like migration mean whenever we need to migrate data, like from one of the places, we need to migrate it to another place. So we will see that there is Azure Migrate service is available and Azure Data Box is available. So this is the objective of today's session. At pinpoint, we will see five things: storage services, we will see different storage tiers to save the data, we will see some redundancy option, and we will see some storage account option, how we will create storage account. And then finally, we will see two major things: how we will be moving data between local data centers to the cloud. And finally, we will see how we will be migrating data from one place to another place. So this is our agenda we will be covering in this section. So number one, what is mean by Azure storage? So these are the option we already covered. Number one, we have storage account types. So what kind of storage accounts types are available? So if you just see on the diagram, there are different variant of account types are available to take the services from Azure. Like number one, standard general purpose V2 option is available. Before it was V1, now it is V2. Then we have a premium blob option available. Then we have premium file share option available. And then we have premium page block option available. So just to understand basic idea behind these, so think of a storage account is your own unique container in the Azure, like providing a namespace for your data that is accessible worldwide through HTTP or HTTPS. Like simply you can understand the data as a container for you. Like for example, you have some file in your office, or you have some folders or something, like you have some important things in your office, so you have to put it somewhere. Like you are going to office and you have very important file with you and you want to save it somewhere. So there is a container, or there is a cupboard, or there is a box. You can put your things inside that box. So usually storage account is same like that. Whenever we have some data, organizational data or personal data, we want to put it in somewhere in the cloud. That is our namespace. So we will be given some name. Then with this namespace, we will access that folder and we can put our data there. Now it should be secure, it should be highly available, it should be durable, it should be scalable. Like we cannot say that I am putting my data over the cloud and that cloud should not have any security concern to my data. That should be the first priority. I am putting my important data to the cloud, that should be secure, and it should be always highly available. Whenever I need that data, cloud services should be available all the time, because that is my company data. First of all, it is secure, and the second, it should be always available. And the third, it should be durable. Anytime, I cannot say that this time I am accessing data, it's taking 10 seconds. Next time I am accessing the data, it is taking 20 seconds. No, it should be durable. And finally, it should be scalable. Scalable mean whenever I am putting data 10 GB to that, it should be available space. If next day I am putting maybe 100 Gbps to that storage, so it should also be scalable. We cannot say that we are getting the services from the Azure, and if we got services 4 GB only and we can put only 4 GB data. No, we have to move scalably. Like for example, I have started one company and that company is having only 10 Gbps data and I am putting in the cloud. After 3 months or 6 months, my company expand very big. So it should be scalable. That Azure will provide a scalability option also. So what we can do, we can break it down like in four different accounts. So number one account is standard general purpose account. So what is mean by general purpose account? General purpose account will provide us different kind of services like blob service, file share service, queue service, and table services. So four of the subcategories of general purpose account is there. So we will see one by one all these. What is mean by blob, what is mean by file, what is mean by queues, and what is mean by table. For now, it is the recommended account type for the most scenarios. Why it is recommended? Because it is generally not very high priced. It is just a moderate price account. We can take it and we can create our blobs, we can create our file shares, we can create our queues and tables. So that is the recommended way to go to the cloud, take the services and use standard general purpose V2 account. Second, if we are a big company, we are having more secure and performance wise data we need, then we will go for premium blob. Premium blob is basically workload that need high transaction rate or low latency. Like companies like banks and other kind of big companies which need very frequent data. Like for example, I am having a bank and I am putting my data which is used by the customers, that is frequently used every second, every minute. So I cannot go for the general purpose. I have to go for the premium one. So I will pay a little more, but that will be very fast and that will be very premium transaction rate and it will be having low latency. So why low latency? Because they will be using backsides very high available hard disks or very fast hard disk. We will understand there are different kind of hard disks. We are having general HDD and nowadays we have SDD. But these cloud service providers nowadays having premium SSD, which is very faster. And then if we want to give our users to put their files as a file share on the cloud, like for example in the Windows before we were using file share system. So we were putting some file on somewhere and people were creating their folders. Each and every user was having folder on the server and they were saving data to the file shares. The same file share concept is on the cloud is available. So we can optimize for enterprise or high performance apps that use the file share with SMB or NFS. So we will also discuss what is mean by SMB and NFS. SMB is basically was used before for file shares by the Windows, and NFS was network file system, network file share, or you can say that network file system. So we were putting some files over the internet and everyone was accessing from the internet. So these two options are also available for the cloud. Like if you want to put your data on the cloud, you will be having one folder on the file share. You will open that folder and you will copy paste data and upload and all the whatever you want. And finally, we will be having premium page blocks. Like we understood about all three options, blob, files, queues, all have their premium options also. If we will go for general purpose, then it will not give us that performance, which will be premium. Our premium will give us like premium page, premium file, premium blog. They will be giving us very high quality data. After that, we have to understand about the redundancy option. These are very important. Like whatever fast rate I am accessing the data, whatever data I have over the cloud, it should be available all the time. Like data is not important for me, but the important thing is how I frequently access that data, how I can save that data to the duplicate available environments. So six options are available. Number one option is locally redundant. Then we have zone redundant. Then we have geo redundant. Then we have read access geo redundant. And we have geo and zone redundant both together. And then we have read access of both together. So six options are available. So we will see one by one all these options. So if you see the table here, that table is describing all the four types of account types. Like you can say that standard versus premium. So if you see on the standard general purpose, so three options we need to be careful. Number one, supported services. This kind of account will provide which kind of service to us? Second, we need to see what kind of redundancy option it is providing, like it is providing LRS, GRS or no. And then finally, we will see what is the use case of this. If we will go for general purpose, so what will be the use case? But if we will go for premium service, then what will be the use case? So three options we will see. So if you see left side, number one is general purpose. And if you see it support blob, it also support queues, it's also support storage, tables, Azure files, like it is supporting all types are available. But in redundancy, it is providing LRS, GRS, RA, GRS, ZRS, like all six type of redundancy, it is providing all. So there is no problem with this. But if you see the usage is just a standard storage account. If you want to support for network file system, use the premium file shares account. That is the disadvantage only. Like for example, it is not providing the best quality file share services, which we discussed before. File shares are those which people are having a big data behind the scene. We are getting one folder and we are accessing this file share every day, every minute. So whenever I want to put data to the file share, it should be available. But that is not a very good quality in this general purpose. So that is why we have to move toward the premium. Like it is providing all kind of redundancy. It is also providing all kind of services. There is no issue. But the main point is if you want to support the network file share, network file share mean we have to put this file share over the cloud and people will be accessing the data from the cloud. It should be faster and it should be very frequently used. So that is why we cannot rely only on general purpose. So we need to go towards the premium one. Now in the premium, we have three options. Block blob is also available. Premium blob is also available and the premium page is also available. So what is mean by block blob? Block and blob are two words. Block mean that it is some kind of a block. Blob mean it is some kind of file. So we are saying that some kind of file we can put it in some kind of block. Like if you download something from the torrent. So if you download any kind of software, when you are downloading something, file is not downloading at once. It downloads in the pieces. So these pieces of the file is called blocks. You understand? And blob mean one kind of file. Like for example, you are uploading 100 images. So these 100 images are blobs. If you are downloading 20 videos, these 20 videos are blobs. What is mean by block? Block is some kind of pieces in which people are downloading and uploading file. So if you join them together, blob is the file type and the block is number of files will be going in one go. So if I will give you very simple example, if I am downloading 100 files from the internet, that 100 files are the blobs, 100 blobs. But in 1 second, how many blobs are downloading in my computer? These are called blocks. You understand the idea? So for example, I am downloading 100 files and 100 files are called blobs. And then how many files in 1 minute I can download? Like for example, I am downloading 100 files, 100 blobs, and I can download 5 blobs in 1 second. So these are called blocks. So that is why this file system is called block blob. So we are downloading blobs in blocks format. 5 in 1 second, 2 in 1 second. If you, I think you used torrent file downloading. So for example, you are downloading one movie and one movie is 10 GB size, but we cannot download 10 GB movie at once. So if we use some kind of download softwares like torrent software, it will cut it down small pieces. These small pieces of the movie is called blocks and the movie is called blob. Now blob is divided into some blocks. So every second, every minute, one by one blocks will be downloading to your system. So that is a premium service available. So we can say that blob is a pen blob recommended for the scenarios with high transaction rate or that are smaller objects to require consistency, low storage latency. Like if we will try to download a full file at once, it will be delayed, it will be performance wise not good. But if we will be dividing into small pieces or blocks, it will be very faster and it will be efficient. So that is why this is a premium service. So we can cut it down small blocks and we can download it. What is the problem with this then? The problem is it is only supporting two types of redundancy. If you see on the screen, the second type is only providing redundancy LRS and ZRS. Don't worry about what is mean by LRS and ZRS. We will cover up what is mean by that. But LRS and ZRS, this is only the option which is providing this. The third one is also file shares. It will be very good and it will be high performance, scalable, and it will be both server managed block, SMB and NFS. Both is supporting. Like first one was not supporting NFS, network file system, and but this one is supporting both. It is supporting SMB also, and it is also supporting network file system. So advantage is there, but same. It is also supporting only two types of redundancy, LRS and ZRS. And the final page blob, it is only supporting LRS. So what is the advantage? Advantage is this is a current time page blobs only page blob. Page blobs mean that is a different kind of service we can understand later on. But still, these blobs are also available in only one redundant, locally redundant. Now, if you want to understand what is mean by LRS, what is mean by GRS, what is mean by these kind of redundancy option. So we can have a look at redundancy option. Number one is LRS. If you see LRS mean locally redundant storage. So what is mean by locally redundant storage? Locally redundant storage mean this is the option which is only save 3 copies in one system. If I think I have a diagram here, if you see here, locally redundant. So if you see on the right side, data center, it is written locally redundant storage. So locally redundant storage, you can see that storage account will save all 3 copies of data in one box. So what is the disadvantage? Advantage is if one file container will go down, the other file will be available. And if other file is not available, the third file will be available. But the disadvantage is this will be on the same server. Like you can say that if it is a big server, one hard drive, and inside we have 3 RAIDs. Like we have divided this hard drive into 3 RAIDs. And one of the RAID is having one file, the second one is having second, or third one is having third. But if the whole drive will go down, then all 3 copies will not be available. So that is the advantage and disadvantages of LRS, locally redundant. If you can understand it is better that if you have 3 pairs of shoes and you want to go to office, but the same 3 pairs of shoes you put it yesterday, we have taken the same example, you have put it these 3 pairs of shoes in single cupboard, and that single cupboard your child came and he locked that cupboard. Now tomorrow you want to go to office, what you will wear? All 3 shoes are in one cupboard, so you cannot wear shoes, means you cannot go to office. So that is the problem of locally redundant storage. But the advantage is also there. Like for example, if you are putting 3 shoes in your home, you can change shoes every day. You can change one shoes, second shoes, third shoes. But one day, if one shoes is broken, you can use the second one. Second shoes is broken, and then you can use third one. Their advantage is there. But the problem is all 3 shoes are in one cupboard. If that cupboard is locked, you cannot go outside. Same here. Locally redundance is option available in the same place, in the same server, in the same hard drive. 3 copies are there. Okay, fine. If one copy will not work, second will work, second will work, third will work. But the problem is in the same server. If the whole server go down or the whole hard drive go down, then this will be having problem. So that is why we have the second option, which is zone redundant. So what is mean by zone? We understood in our previous session, every data center have, or every region have different zones, redundancy zone redundancy. So they will be having 3 different zone 1, zone 2, zone 3. If zone 1 will go down, zone mean a separate building. If the separate building will go down, your second copy will be not inside the same zone. It will be in the second zone. So second zone will be available. If the second zone will go down, mean the whole area will go down, then the third area will be available. So that is more important option than the locally redundant. Like if there is a big building, data center, inside that data center, somewhere in the rack you have data copy. If the whole data center goes down, if the whole area go down, there is another area, there is another availability zone, and there is another data center which is very far away. The data will be available in the second copy. Again, there also something happened, that second zone also gone, that second data center also lost power or something like that. So third copy will be available inside the third availability zone. So that is very, very important to understand. Locally redundant data will be only one server, and zone redundant data will be on different three zones. So what is the benefit? That if one area go down, second will be available, second goes down, third. But the disadvantage of this is this one will be costly, because they are saving your data not only in one hard drive, they are saving your data in three different locations. So obviously, LRS, maybe you will be providing only $3 per month, but here you need to provide $9 per month, because three types of three availability zone they are putting your data. Like before they were putting your three copies, now they are putting three copies in different three availability zones. So they need to put your data from one place to another place. So that is why they will cost you three times more. But the advantage is if one area go down, the second and second, third. So that advantage is there also. But in terms of cost, it will be costlier. But big companies will afford that, because big companies have a lot of money. They don't worry about the cost. They need to have a data redundancy, and also they need to have data fault tolerance. If one data goes down, second will be available, second go down, third will be available. So that is the second option, locally redundant and zone redundant. Any question here until next? We have two more options, GRS and GZRS. So GRS mean geo redundant storage, and geo zone redundant options. Now, if you see on the left side of the picture, it is storing primary region and secondary region. Now, we understood before they were putting three copies in three different availability zones, but all three availability zones in one region. If the whole region go down, then what we will do? So we need to put another copy in a separate region. Like we understand yesterday, what is mean by region? One region is Dubai, one region is Abu Dhabi. In Abu Dhabi, they have three availability zones, and in Dubai, they have three availability zones. But if we will see the previous example, they will put it in three different availability zones, which are in the single, or you can say that origin. If the whole region is down, then what will happen? The data will go down. Like for example, there is a problem with in whole Abu Dhabi, that Abu Dhabi will have three all availability zones. So the data will not be accessible because all the three buildings in Abu Dhabi is down. So we will put three more copies in Dubai region also. So one region will go down, all the three availability zones will go down. Still, our data will be available on the second region. That is geo-redundant storage. In the name, we can say that geo-redundant. Geographically, they are located on a different region. Now, third option is geo-redundant, but the problem with this is if the whole country goes down, both region go down, then what we will do? Now we have a fourth option, Geo-Zone-Redundant storage, Geo-Zone-Redundant. So what we are doing now, we are doing in one region, we are putting three different copies on three different availability zones also. Like if the whole region will go down, no problem, but the secondary copy will be available in the second region, that will be read only. So locally redundant option we can use in one region, and the second option, like we understood where last slide, we have locally redundant and zone redundant. So one of the option we will put it in one region, and the second option we will put it in the second region. So that will be less costly. Like if we will use the same three region in one region, same three availability zone in one region, and same three availability zone available in the second region, that will be too much costly. So we can mix both. We are using the same geo-redundant option, both two regions, but in one region we are putting the read-only copy, and one option we are putting the read-write copy. If one region is using read-write copy, that will go down. The second will be standby. That will not be fully functional. That will be only read-only. So that option we will just enable, or we will shift from read-write to read, and then read will become read-write, write and read both. So that will be less costly also, and that will be the combination of local redundancy and geo redundancy, and also geo redundant and geo zone redundance all together. So that will be giving us moderate value also, and also it will be giving us moderate cost, because we don't only need to think about the performance and availability, we also need to understand about the cost. So that is why the fourth option will be having not very high cost, not very low cost. It will be medium cost also, and it will be providing us redundancy also, not very low, not very high. It will be medium also. So the fourth option is very best for us. And finally, if we see here that these kind of types we understood before, these are blob storage, file storage, queue storage, disk storage, and table storage. Before going to these five types, if you have any question about these redundancy options, then you can ask. One thing I have here also about the account types. Like one of the key benefits of Azure accounts is the ability to access your data through unique endpoints. How you will be accessing these data? Like you have saved some file over the cloud. Now these files are stored somewhere. How you will access? You need to use some kind of link. Like you want to access your file from blob storage. So that blob storage, how you know this blob you want to access? So there should be one URL. You will copy that URL in the web browser, or whatever you, however you want to access. That URL will provide you access to that blob. So we have different URLs available which will help us to access that data. So endpoints are then formatted by combining your account's name with the service type. It will be giving you exactly what is the name inside. Like you want to create your website, and your website is like abc.com. So it will be giving you authority to access that website. Same, you are saving your data to your account, and if you want to access data, there will be some URL. You will use that URL and you will access data. Another benefit is, if you want to give access to someone to access that data, you can give this URL with username, password, and then he will be able to access that data also. So you can share data also with some other people to give the access. If you have seen already, if I want to share something with you, I will put it in my Google Drive, and my Google Drive will provide me one link. That link I will give it to you. You will use that link and to access the data. Same concept here. You have to save data in the cloud, and you need some kind of URL to access that data. So that is why Microsoft is saying that these are your unique endpoints. To achieve this, each endpoint must have unique name. Obviously, it should have unique name, because in the URL it should be mentioning whether it is a blob, whether it is a data lake storage, whether it is a file, or whether it is a queue, and whether it is a table. What kind of service is this? If you see the URLs, all URLs have the name built in inside. So this is the way we can access our data with URLs, and we can also share data with some other persons. Next, we have these five type of storages. Number one is blob. We already little bit understood about blob, mean blob. So blob is some kind of files which we can download, upload in the form of blocks. So this is the type of blob, or you can say that this is the type of Azure Blob Storage. But what is file storage? What is queue storage? What is disk storage? What is table storage? We need to look at this one by one. Like for example, if you want to download some files, you need this kind of storage. general purpose. You can put your files there, you can put your movies, you can put your different kind of files types there. So that is basically a general type of storage, blob storage. So you can say that each type of file is called blob. So you can say your image is a blob, your video is a blob, your audio is a blob. So these kind of things are all called blob. Generally, we mostly use these kind of images and we put it there. Then we can download, upload. So blob storage is a massively scalable object store for text, for binary, for big data analytics or data lakes or what kind of data we have. All these kind are called blob storage. So why it is used? What are the use cases for that? Why we are using this one kind of account? Because it is perfect for images, documents, videos, backups, and log files. All kind of data we use daily basis like videos, images, and all that. So simply we can create an blob account or blob storage account. We can save our images, we can save our backups, videos, and all kind of files. That is the first benefit. Second, ideal for scenarios like serving content to browsers, archiving, and analytics. Like usually we are using different kind of content types. Like we are creating contents and then we are putting content on YouTube or different kind of areas. So that is also available for these kind of services. Data is accessible anywhere through HTTP. Like we have discussed the URLs. Whenever we will put data somewhere, we will have that specific URL and we will just provide URL to the customer or URL to the user. They will use that URL and they will access the data. What are the different tiers of that data? Tiers mean how frequently we are accessing these files. So first tier is hot tier. Hot tier mean frequently access data. Like for example, I am having a bank and I have put it data on some server. So every minute, every second, people are accessing these data. So that is frequently accessed data. Every minute, every second, people are accessing. So this one we will put it in hot tier. Why we will put it in hot tier? Because that will be frequently accessed every day. Hot mean very fast, very daily basis, frequently, seconds, minutes, every day people are using. But that hot tier will be little costlier because people are using every day. Second thing is associated to that, hot tier will be little costlier, but when people are accessing the transactions daily, it will not be costly. Transactions will be less costly. Storage is costly, but transaction will be less costly. So two things we need to be put it in mind. One, the tier is hot, that is costly, but the transaction every day is not costly because people are using every day, every minute. So we will not be charged too much money. So one thing you can put it in mind, hot tier is little costly as a storage, but the frequently accessed tier is not very costly in terms of transaction. Second is cool tier. Cool tier we use when we need to use data not frequently, not every day, maybe sometime 1 week after, maybe 10 days, maybe after 1 month, after 30 days, I am just accessing files and checking. Like I already put it some files there and I don't frequently access every day. After monthly basis, I just go there and check files and use files and know. But monthly maybe one time or two time. These kind of files we put it in the cool tier. Now that is the benefit of cool tier. That is less costly because hot tier was little costlier. Cool tier will be little less costly because we are not frequently using. But the disadvantage is we are not frequently using. If we will use again frequently, that will be cost us more. So it is opposite to the hot tier. As drive is less costly, but if we will use frequently, that will give us more money because we need to pay more. We are using their drives, but we are not supposed to use frequently. So, but if we will use frequently, then we need to pay more. Third option is cold tier. Cold tier mean sometimes we don't need to use data even 90 days. So we just save the data there. Maybe after 90 days, maybe after 3 months, maybe 6 months or 1 year, we will just use data one time. So that we can put it in cold tier. Cold tier is mean it will be not accessible maybe 3 months, 6 months or 1 year. That is just we are archiving data or saving data there. But the problem with this, it will be less, it will be more costlier if we will access this data, if we will do transaction frequently. Obviously, we have saved the data there, but still we are accessing frequently, then we will be costly. But the benefit is it will be more less costlier than the previous two, hot and cool. Like you can just say that hot tier is $5 per month, cold tier is $3 per month, and sorry, cool tier is $3 per month, and cold tier is just $1 per month. This is the advantage of these three. Hot tier $5, cool tier $3, or cold tier even $1 only. But the disadvantage is hot tier will be frequently accessed. It will be cheap. Cold tier and cool tier will be more frequently used and it will be charged. That is why we cannot use that frequently. Finally, archive tier. If we don't need data, if we don't need to access even 180 days, so we can put it in archive. Like we are not using even 6 months. So we can just put it in the archive folder. Like email, we are getting everyday emails, and last year's email, even I don't check that emails, so I will not delete that emails. I will just archive them some in some folder. Maybe after 2 years 3 years, if I need that previous email, so I will go there and I will check. So these kind of things which we don't frequently use, even 180 days, maybe 1 year, so these kind of things we will archive in some. So these kind of three storage services are available: hot tier, cold tier, archive. It is up to you how frequently you are accessing. So you can use hot, cool, cold, and archive. Any question in this? So these kind of different tiers available. If you have to understand about a general example is every day you are going to school, for example, if you are a student and you have three pairs of shoes. One pair of shoes is very, you can say that new, you like it, you want to wear every time that shoe. So this shoes you will always put in the hot tier. Like if you will go to school, so you will put it nearby your bed all the day. And whenever you will be going to school, you will only choose that shoes which is nearby to you. So that is hot tier, hot shoes, because you are using frequently every day, you like that shoes, but the other two shoes are similar, but you like only this shoes. So this shoes you will put it in hot tier. Cool tier, the second shoes which is after that shoes, if that first shoes is not available, then you will use the second one. The second, maybe you will put it as a cool tier somewhere in the second room. If you will not find your first shoes, then you will use that one. So that is cool tier. And the third pair, which is little bit dirty or little bit older, you don't like it much, that you will put it in maybe in some cupboard somewhere, maybe in the store or somewhere. So if both shoes you will not find, hot also, cool also, then you will just go to the store and find the third one, and then you will access that. So this is basically example, just a general example to understand. Whatever you are using daily basis, you will put it in hot. Whatever you are using after even 30 days, you will put it in cool. If you are not using even 90 days, then you will put it in the cold. And if you are even not using 180 days or 3 months or 6 months, then you will put it in the archive. So whenever you will be putting down, this will be cost also going down. $5 to $3, $3 to $2, $2 to one to even in pennies. But the disadvantage is whenever you will be coming down and down to save the cost, but in terms you will be accessing the data, the transaction will be costlier. So whatever you are going down, if you will frequently use, then they will cost you more. Okay, next we have file storage. Second option is file storage. File storage is basically the option which is used SMB and NFS. I have already given you example. This is our kind of service where we can make a folder, and this folders will be accessible by the users every day. So we can create a, you can say that sharing type of folder. So fully managed by file share cloud, accessible by SMB, and also it is available for network file system. So we can put it in the network also. So what are the advantages for that? Works seamlessly with Windows, Linux, and Mac OS, all three. So previously blob was used by Windows. This one is available for Windows also, Linux also, and Mac OS also. Second option is can replace traditional on non-premises file shares. So what is mean by can replace traditional on-premises file shares? Like before we were having an old server, it was only used to save files like a file server. It was having a big hard drive, old hard drive. When people were accessing the data or moving the data, they were facing difficulties. It was very performance-wise poor. This one, I want to move it to the cloud for fast response, good hard drive and all that. So this one is good to replace this old system. So this old hard drive, old server, you can just take your all the data and put it on the file shares on the cloud. That will give you more good performance than the local data center. Finally, support Azure File Sync. Azure File Sync is a service which you can use to sync the file from local data center to the cloud. So what is mean by cloud sync? Like for example, you don't want to delete the old server, you want to keep it, but the new data you want to put it on the cloud. You want to use both. Sometime whenever you create local data, you want to shift it to the cloud. So this service will help you Azure File Sync to sync between the cloud and the local data center together. Whenever you create new files on the local data center, if you have this file sync service enabled, it will automatically shift these files to the cloud. So that is very important file to faster access the data and to save the data and to sync the data. But the problem with this file sync service is you have to pay for that service. If you will pay for that service, then you can use that. The only problem with this. But the advantages are more. Anytime you will save the data, it will be synced to the cloud. So local people will also be able to access, and the cloud people also will be able to access these files, same on the cloud. So shared access, you can anytime share the files to the cloud people also, you can anytime share people to the local people also, because it is syncing each other. And resiliency, it will be resilience. If the local data center goes down, then the files also will be synced on the cloud. Still, people will be able to access these files because these are also on the cloud. Fully managed infrastructure, you can manage anytime you want to do, anytime you want to shift data, you can do it. Familiar programmability for developers, because if you have old developers, they are already working on the local data center files. And if you will delete that servers and you just go to the cloud, and old programmers don't know how to use and how to access their data, that will be difficulty. But if you have both and file sync is working, then the old programmers or familiar will be having the development wherever they are developing, if this is local or if this is global. Third option is file queues, and the fourth option is disk, and the fifth option is table. Basically, these are not very much important for us to understand these three types. For us, file shares and the blob is important because we will be frequently accessing these files and all that. But what are these three options? These three options are used for the database development people, database developers or something like that. For example, queue is designed to message-based communication. Message-based communication means if you are having a airline company and every day you are sending messages to the users that flight is not available or it is cancelled or something like that, so your system will be very heavy to do this. So you hire another service, another company, they will be just delivering your messages every day. So that is some kind of API in between you and the company or customer. So they will be taking your messages and they will be delivering to the users. So these kind of messages have to store somewhere. So that is why we use queue storage. Queue storage will provide you the facility to store these kind of messages very frequently or very easily. So number one, stores millions of small messages. It is a very big space. It can save small millions of messages. Like for example, I am a company. Every day I am having facility for the users and I need to convey the message to the users that we are available, we are not available, flight is available, flight is cancelled. So millions of these kind of small messages we have to manage. But with this queue service, we don't need to manage. We will just store to the queue service, and this queue service will be handling to the other side of that. Second option is messages are accessible worldwide via secure. So simply people will just go to HTTP and they will find these messages easily. They don't need to use any different kind of softwares. They will just go to HTTP website and they will use it. Third option is commonly used for the Azure functions for event-driven applications like triggering an action for a submission. Yesterday we understood about the Azure functions which are already built-in functions. We can just use it simply and we will only pay for these functions. So these kind of Azure functions can use very frequently these queue services to get this data from the queue and just apply on the function and use it. So this storage is used just for the messaging, just conveying the messages, using the messages, applying the APIs and applying the functions directly and use these kind of services. So usually these kind of companies use for these services to put their all kind of small messages to this queue, and this will be very frequently used by the customer also and by the company also. Fourth option, daily basis we use with the hard drive, block level storage volume with the machine, like we create virtual machine and that virtual machine have a local hard drive in a file system that will become the disk storage and work like a physical disk but managed by the Azure reliability and scalability. These are the basically some files which behave like a hard drive, and this is stored on the cloud and we can frequently use them. It provides durability, availability, and performance. Like obviously, if the big hard drive is very heavy, these kind of small local storage disks are very smaller and it will be frequently used and it is efficient. Simply store management since Azure handle the infrastructure for because it is just saving your data wherever they are saving. If it is a big hard drive or if it is a local hard drive or it is a whatever kind of drive, we don't have any concern. We just need to save our data wherever they are saving, whether they are saving on a big hard drive or they are saving on the file system. We don't worry. So these kind of storage hard drives also available by the Azure, which is not a big hard drive. It's just a file system. We can put our files there and we can use. And finally, table storage, which is used by the database management system people. So how they can use? They can use as a non-SQL database. So there are two types of database services, SQL and non-SQL. So non-SQL structured like non-relational data, they have to use this kind of storage so they can easily manage them. Great for hybrid multifunction scenarios, useful for scalable application, and then it is used for flexible access and structured data. So we are just using these kind of tables and all these kind of things. Like you understood already Excel. Excel is some kind of table, rows and columns. So if we need to use Excel, what we will do? We will use rows and columns to put the data like a record management system, student name, student phone number, these kind of, you already understood about the table system. So these kind of table system, we can also store it in the Azure table storage. This which we can frequently use as a database, SQL, non-SQL, structured data, non-structured data. We don't need to go deep inside this concept because this is related to the database developers. They use this storage, but we need to know that what kind of storage is this. This is basically a table form of storage which use unstructured non-SQL kind of storage devices and we can use them. Finally, we have some benefits by using these Azure services. Obviously, there are a lot of benefits to use these kind of services. So the first benefit is, the first benefit is durability and availability. Obviously, we already understood about different kind of storage options. These are durable and these are available all the time. Why it is available? Because they have built-in redundancy options are available. Like we understood before, locally redundant, geo-redundant, and all six options are available. So we don't need to make that availability choice. Automatically, Azure will choose for that for your storage. They will put automatically inside of some kind of redundancy. Maybe they will put it in local redundancy if you even don't use redundancy option. So automatically Azure will select one service and they will put it in a redundant form. So that is the big advantage. Storage, we don't need to worry about the redundancy. They will choose automatically at least locally redundant. They will make three copies. Even if we will make, even if we will not make three copies, they will make automatic. So that is a big advantage. Second is security. Obviously, everyone is concerned about security. If I am putting my data to the cloud and I am worried about what will happen to my data, what how someone can steal my data. So the second benefit is security, means data is encrypted and accessed by the tightly controlled environment. Like they will be encrypting our file all the time. They will not just save our data inside their drives or the cloud without any encryption. They will always use strong encryption. So that is the benefit of putting the data inside the cloud, which was our concern, that maybe what will happen to our data. So they will always encrypt your data. Even if the hacker will hack your data from the cloud, they will not be able to see your data because that is encrypted. So they will put a strong encryption on that. Scalability, designed it to handle massive workloads and growth. Anytime you want to put any type of data, GBs, TBs, whatever the data you want to put it there, the space will always available. Anytime you want to scale it to one drive, to two drive, to 10 drive, to 100 drive, that will be available. So that is a massive scalable option. Fourth is managed services, maintain the infrastructure, update and the hardware for you. That is the big option for you. You don't need to manage the hard drive. You don't need to manage the infrastructure. Microsoft will be managing for you. Microsoft will be managing the hard drives. Microsoft engineers will be making the hard drives efficient. Microsoft engineers will be making the all updates and hard drive. If the new hard drive will come, they will copy your data from old hard drive to new hard drive. So don't worry about these things. Everything will be managed by the Microsoft. You are just putting your data on their drives. If the drive will fail, they will be managing. If the drive need to be updated, they will be updating. If the drive need to be changed, they will change the hard drive. So everything will be managed by the Microsoft. You don't need to manage the hard drive. You don't need to worry to change the hard drive. You don't need to update the hard drive. Whenever the new hard drive will come, they will buy, they will replace the old hard drive. So we will be getting all the time efficient services. And finally, the big benefit is accessibility. It will be all the time accessible. Why it will be all the time accessible? Because you are having different redundancy option, LRS, ZRS. One will go down, second will be available. Second go down, third will be available. Availability zone will go, then the second availability zone will be available. Even the whole region will go down, then the second region will be there. So your data will be all the time accessible. And worldwide, if you are using graphical user interface, if you are using command line interface, if you are even using APIs or different kind of AZ copy store, Azure Storage Explorer, the data will be accessible all the time. They cannot say that your data is not available this time. For example, if you are using your local data center and you are maintaining that server, maybe server is down, so your data can be going down, but Microsoft will not say that your data is not accessible. Data will be all the time accessible. So these are the different benefits of cloud options. Any questions until here in the benefits? Okay, finally we have two options remaining. Migration. What is mean by migration? Migration means that it acts as a central hub in migrating from on-premises to Azure. How we can migrate our data to the Azure. Like for example, we are having a previous company and we want to move all of our data to the cloud. How we will migrate? Or if there will be some changes in the local data center, how we will shift these changes to the cloud. So this is called migration option. Two migration options are available. One is Azure Migrate and the second option is Azure Data Box. So what is the difference between these two? So one of the main difference is Azure Migrate is just a central hub which is available from Microsoft on-premises data centers to the cloud. But Azure Data Box act as too slow or unreliable for Azure offer the Data Box family of devices. So Azure Data Box is some kind of special hard drive Microsoft is providing to you. So that will be efficient because they are providing you full efficiency. And then finally, we will see the benefits of data migration also. Why we are not using the Azure Migrate default service, why we are using the Azure Data Box. So we will see one by one both. Number one, Azure Migrate. It's basically a central hub maintaining the on-premises data. You can say that it's a central repository provided by Microsoft where you can save all data and then we can move it from on-premises to the cloud. What is the benefit? It provides a unified platform with single portal of discovery accessible and migrates. It will be providing a single unit, single portal where you can go and you can just provide the data and then it will be providing you platform to upload it to the cloud. That is a single platform. Then support a wide range of tools like Microsoft own services included ISV solutions. So these are different kind of tools. You don't need to use any tool to migrate the data. So the built-in tool is IVS tool is available from Microsoft. You will go to portal and you will use their tool. Like for example, if you have your own data and you want to move somewhere, you need to use some kind of tool to move it. And this tool maybe you need to purchase, but in here, in this Azure Migrate, already built-in tool is available. So you will just simply go and you will use their tool. You don't need to purchase the tool and all that. It helps with assessment and migration of infrastructure, server, database, and application. Not only it is migrating your data, it can also migrate your services. It can also migrate your databases and it can also migrate your application also. So that is not only used for just to send files from somewhere to else. They can also shift the whole application. They can also shift the whole infrastructure, servers, each and everything you can move by this. So it is not only that you have a 10 GB movie and you want to move it from one place to another place. No, it is a big service which can move your whole servers, which can move your whole infrastructure and whole databases and applications. So what kind of different tools they are using? Like we have understood software vendor IVS. It is just one tool, but there are many other tools we can use to migrate the option. Number one is Azure Migrate, Discovery and Assessment. This is basically a software which is used by VMware and Hyper-V and physical server to prepare the migration. Like nowadays, people are using different kind of platforms for virtual machines, VMware, Hyper-V and all that. And if you want to move the data, before moving the data, you need to prepare the data. How you will prepare? For preparation of the data, there is a tool which is discovery and assessment. Like for example, if you are shifting your home from here, Dubai to Sharjah, so you need to pack all the things in boxes. This is basically discovery and assessment. So you will just check first how I will manage the data, where I will put the data, how I will close the boxes, and these kind of assessment you will do first. You cannot say that, okay, call some guy with the, uh, vehicle and just put it everything inside the box and just move it. No. First, you will plan it. You will make boxes. You will put it things inside and then you will prepare everything first. Then you will move. So that is the discovery and assessment. Same like this you will do before. Second is server migration. If you are moving all the full servers from one place to another place, so even workloads from other clouds into Azure, you can move the whole servers. So you will do use this tool, server migration tool. Data migration assistant, DMA. This one tool you also use to just migrate the data only. Like you are not moving everything, you are just moving data. Standalone tool for SQL Server, identify features, capability issues, optimization of it. So it will just check your data is good, your data is optimized, your data is good to go. Then each and everything is good, then it will be start moving your data. But before moving, it will be make sure that it is good. Then we have Azure Database Migration Service, DMS service. Just you want to migrate the databases only. Not only data, not only servers. You just want to move your databases. Fully managed service for databases, SQL and all non-SQL type of services. If you are a database administrator and you want to move all the databases from on-premises to cloud, so you will use this kind of tool. And finally, we have Azure App Service Migration Assistant. which is .NET and PHP Web Access. So these kind of web tools are also available. You can use and you can migrate your data. So finally, we don't need to go deep inside these tools because we usually don't use these tools. We just need to know that how we can migrate by using these tools from one place to another place. So separate tools are available. For data, separate tool is available. For databases, separate tool is available. For servers, separate tool is available. For just assessment of the data before moving, tools are available. So different tools are available. We can choose as per our requirement. And finally, last is the second option, which is data box. Data box is also a migration tool, but this tool is having benefit over the previous one. What is the benefit? It uses, like you can say, that family of the devices from Microsoft. Microsoft is making special devices for just migration. So you can buy these kind of data boxes. You can put it data inside and you can move this data through courier service or something like that. Like before, if you want to move the data, it will go through the network. Someone can hack your data or it will be slow and all that. But if you want to move a lot of big data, you cannot move through the network. So you will say that, okay, I will buy that a big hard drive from Microsoft. I will put it data all inside that drive, and this drive I will move through the courier to the other place. So it will not go through the network. You will just copy all the data in a big hard drive, which is provided by the Microsoft. It's called data box. Put it inside, move the data inside. Like for example, if you will say, sir, share these notes with me, I will say, okay, I will share it, these notes, because these are just one file or two file. I will send you WhatsApp. Okay, no problem. You will get these files. But if you will say you have recorded maybe 50 sessions, one hour, 2 hour sessions in you with you, I want all these sessions. And even if you don't have a YouTube channel, how you will take that? I cannot send you all 50 lectures, big TBs data to your WhatsApp or to your email. So how I will give it to you? I will have a big hard drive. I will copy all these data inside that hard drive. And then this hard drive, I can give it to you by taxi or by my car or whatever, wherever you want to take. You will come somewhere. I will give you this hard drive. So that is the option available also. So Microsoft is providing the data box, which is a specific hardware, or you can say that it's a simply hard disk, big hard disk. We can put it all the data inside, and then you can move this hard drive to. So it is just a physical migration service. Secured devices up to 80 TB. You know what is mean by TB? 1 TB is having 1000 GBs inside. And we can save data 80 TB, mean 80 multiplied by 1000 is in thousands of GBs data we can. You copy your local data, ship it to the back, and then Microsoft upload the data to the Azure. So you just don't need to deliver these hard drives to the customer also. You will just save the data to the Microsoft box and you give it to Microsoft. Now Microsoft will copy the data and they will put it to the customers or whatever, wherever they want to put it or send it somewhere. So that will be their responsibility because that is not our local hard drive. We are taking rental out their service or rental out their box. We will just copy the data inside and we will give back to Microsoft. Microsoft will deliver this data to wherever they want. If they want to give it this box to some customer, they will give it. Or if they want to copy the data and put it on the cloud or somewhere, wherever you want to put, they will copy the data, they will save the data, and they will send the data. The service is fully tracked and Azure portal, all the disks are wiped according to an IT system and all that system. So this is just monitored by the Microsoft also. If someone in the way can take that hard drive, so it is monitored. And also it is very efficient according to the wipeout. Properly, it will be wiped out properly. It will be ready to make to put the data and see. So the advantage of this is one-time migration only. One-time migration means we can migrate all the data single entry one time. All the data we will put it in hard drive, give it to Microsoft, and Microsoft will handle that. So it a one go. Like for example, we already have example of shifting the home. If we are having a big home for 5 rooms, we cannot shift all things in one car or something like that. So one time I will shift my luggage of one room, second time I will shift the luggage of second room and third room like that. But if I am having a very big truck, I can handle everything in one go. So that is the option with the available. I can put all the data in one box, just shift it to Microsoft and it is option. Initial bulk transfer. Initially, for example, we can send a large data set. Periodic uploads, we can also put it periodic uploads whenever I am uploading things and we can just shift it to that. Also, it is export scenarios. Whenever you want to export it to some other country, also you can in the form of disaster recovery or compliance or different kind of options are available. But the main advantage of this is you can shift data without the internet work. You will copy all the data in one big box, and this big box can carry it out. If you see here, data migration benefits. What is the benefit of migrating the data? Flexibility, scalability, security, and efficiency. We already understood these benefit of the cloud. But same benefits are also available for the migration. If you are migrating your data through Microsoft Azure, it will be flexible. And if you see that you can do this online also and you can do this offline also. If you want to do it online, Azure migrate option is available. If you want to do it offline, you can use Azure Data Box. So both options are flexible. You can use one of them. Scalable is very scalable. Small workloads or entire data centers you can move it. You want to move it only one hard drive, you can move. Or if you want to move all the 50 servers, you can move. Or if you want to use your whole company migration, then you can also do. It is very flexible. It is very scalable. Security, it will be secure if you are moving data through one service through the internet. It is also safe through encryption. If you are using their data box, they will also make sure that is secure. Secure car will take and then it will be shifted to Microsoft. So security is always there. And finally, efficiency streamline tool that reduce migration time. So there are different tools. We understood that these will make sure that it will reduce the migration time and it will be migrated. Last topic is uh, data migration options. Like we can migrate data through some tools, or we can say that there are so basically it is not a migration, it is a movement, data movement. Migration is something different, movement is something different. Migration is you need to copy the data and put it somewhere or use it somewhere, or you can say that copy and paste. But movement is how you can access the data, how you can move the data between. Like you are using a data from one place and then you are moving the data only to the other place. So there are migration things are also available and movement things are. So these two tools will provide you for the movement. Command line utility is also available and the graphical unit. So command line is AZ-copy and the graphical unit is Azure storage account. So what you will do, for example, I have created a account or folder over the cloud. I want to put my data there, my images there. How I will copy? I can use a command line tool also. Copy this data to cloud. That is a command. But if I am not good with commands, I can just open Explorer. I will just copy the file and it will be uploaded to the cloud. So both options are available. One is for command line users. The second is for graphical interface users. So what is the benefit of command line utility? It is to move the data to the Azure storage, upload or download file from your storage account. You can upload, download with commands, no problem. Copy the file between different storage accounts. If you want to use one storage account and second storage account, you want to move data between two storage accounts, not only from local data center to the cloud, you can move data in the cloud to storage accounts also. Synchronize files, like we already understood file sync type. If you want to synchronize data, you can also use these commands. Even supports movement across different cloud providers. Not only Microsoft, you can move your file from AWS, you can move your file from Google also. So different vendors are available. Like for example, you are putting data on the Amazon before. Now you want to move this data from Amazon to Microsoft. So this tool will also provide facility to move data from other vendors also. And the second is Storage Account Explorer. Storage Account Explorer is basically graphical interface unit. You will just open a web browser, and inside web browser left side menu will be there. You will just click on the folders. You will open that folder, paste data inside, and it will be uploaded to the cloud. Simple, copy paste. So available on Windows also, Mac also, Linux also. It is providing drag and drop service like same Windows. If I want to copy data from one folder to another folder, what we do? Just right click on the folder, copy or cut the data, go to the other place, second folder, paste it there. So we can just simply copy paste or cut paste data in the same tool. We will just open the tool from our local computer, which is on premises. We will just open that folder and it will be opened automatically from the cloud. We will paste the file inside and it will be uploaded automatically to the cloud. Very simple, just simple cut, copy, paste. Let's you easily upload, download, and move file between storage accounts and without command line. So you don't need to understand the commands and all these things. Just put your files in your desktop, cut, copy, paste files, and just put it in the cloud. So that is very easy. And finally, we have Azure File Sync also. This service we already understood. If you want to move data between cloud and data center, this service, if you will purchase from Microsoft, this will be automatically syncing the files automatically from your cloud team. That is very flexible. And Windows file servers, that is extremely, they're sending your file servers to the Azure. Easily, you can just put in data. You don't need to move through AZ copy or file storage system. This file sync service will be automatically syncing your data. Whatever you are putting new data, automatically it will sync to the cloud. Access files locally also, you can actually deploy many local caches also will be quickly recover from server failure also. Like we saw that is a big advantage of file sync. If your local data center is down, already file sync will be uploaded to the cloud. So no problem. People can access data from the cloud if the local data center is still down. So this file sync service will always syncing the file to the cloud. So the benefit is if local data center will be not available, then the cloud services will be available. Enable cloud tiering also, like we understood about hot tier, cool tier, and different kind of archiving system. In local data center, it is not available. So we want to use this tier system, like we are using data frequently, not frequently, 30 days, 60 days, 90 days. Local data center, we cannot manage like this. But when we are syncing with file system on the cloud, we can use these services also. We can use hot tier, cool tier, and all these kind of things. So these are all the benefits of using the Azure file syncs. So three things we have to remember. One is Azure copy or AZ copy, which is command line tool to movement of the data from one place to another. Azure Storage Explorer is the graphical user tool. Just copy, paste, cut, paste data. It is very easy. And the third option is file sync. File sync will also going movement of the data, but this will be having benefit of if one goes down, it will be syncing to the other and the other will be available. In summary, what we have discussed today, we have understood about the Azure storage accounts. Then we have understood about different tiers, hot, cool, and these kind of tiers. Then we have understood redundancy option, locally redundant, 3 copies locally, zone redundant, 3 zones, 3 copies, geo-redundant in 2 different zones, different regions, and GZRS means that we will be having one read-write copy, one write copy on read copy only. Storage accounts types we have understood. There is a V2, there is a different kind of block, premium block, and these kind of options. After that, finally, we understood about the migration and movement of the data. For migration, we can use Azure Migrate and Azure Data Box, online and offline. And for the movement, we can use AZ Copy, Storage Explorer, and the File Sync option. So this is it. If you have any question in all these, this is the last slide and everything we have discussed today. If you want to ask anything about Azure storage accounts or tiers you don't understand, or different availability zones or different redundancy options, if you want to understand, you can ask any question.